Hello and a very warm welcome. In today's video we are talking Franco Colapinto. The fourth time I've tried to record this. Is it going to be fourth time lucky? Anyway, Colapinto is in the car for Alpine as he's replaced Doohan. Doohan is out, Colapinto's in. Briatore wanted Colapinto. He said he's got 5 races, but in reality he's got the rest of the season. In today's video we're going to reflect on his first 9 races. Replaced Logan Sargent mid-season, was in for 9 races. We thought surely he'll get a drive for 25. He didn't, but after 6 rounds he is back in the car. Yeah, when I did the Doohan Colapinto switch video, quite a lot of hate for Franco Colapinto. He's a paid driver, he's paid his way into Formula 1. A lot of hate. People didn't agree with the decision to bin Doohan. Yeah, and he's got a lot of support from Argentina. Franco Colapinto will return to the grid next weekend when he takes Jack Doohan's Alpine race seat at Imola. Yeah, he obviously replaced Sargent, filled in for Williams. But yeah, Colapinto burst onto the F1 scene at Monza last year when Williams opted to promote their academy member and F2 race winner in favour of Logan Sargent. It was a strong start for the 21-year-old Colapinto. He impressed many in the paddock en route to points finishes and Q3 appearances, but then had some tough weekends. So we're going to go through his 9 races, just going to rank, start where I think he did well, and then we'll probably get to the bad ones. Yeah, Colapinto, big opportunity for him at Imola. Imola's a tough, twisty racetrack, difficult to overtake. Going to be interesting to see how he does, although he has been in the Alpine car at the likes of Zandvoort. Azerbaijan was probably his best performance. For me, it was very strong. For the best performance across Colapinto's 9-round run, the clear winner was his Q3 and double points on the streets of Baku. Yeah, he looked a bit like a veteran, like he'd been competing for several seasons. Yeah, he did have a crash in practice, but came fighting back to start a stunning 8th on the grid. And in the race, he did really well, scoring points. Yeah, got a handshake off Lewis Hamilton, one of the most special moments. Then we jumped into Singapore. Singapore, absolutely grueling, tough on any driver, let alone someone who is new. Yeah, Colapinto built on an impressive performance across his first 2 weekends to deliver another mature drive. I think this one, he was very brave on Alex Albon, wasn't he? On the first lap, and Albon complained. Yeah, he was only just behind Albon in qualifying. Then he put a bold move into turn 1 and then battled for a point, but I believe Sergio Perez just beat him to that point. So yeah, it was another impressive drive. Colapinto, now we jump into Italy. Yes. While Monza was a track he knew well from his junior career, Colapinto got his head down, edged closer and closer to much more experienced teammate Albon. As the weekend progressed, he ended up with a very respectable 12th. Yeah, I believe that was his first race, wasn't it, for Williams, Italy. So yeah. 4th, we're jumping into Austin. Colapinto faced the added challenge of a sprint weekend at Austin, but he adapted well to the weekend as the quickest Williams driver with a run to 10th in sprint qualifying and 12th in the race. Albon got back on terms with his new teammate in main qualifying, but after the tie driver first lap dramas, it was left to Colapinto to try and score a point. He finished 10th, so another points finish. So yeah, Azerbaijan and Austin was very positive. But yeah, then we get into Mexico, which was not amazing. Mexico City marked the beginning of Colapinto's more challenging run to the end of the campaign, with the youngster comfortably outqualified by teammate Albon and coming home a distant 12th after a collision with a lesbian. Qatar was pretty much more the same, a first lap incident that basically knocked him out of the race. He qualified last for the sprint and started in the pit lane due to setup changes, then qualified 19th for the Grand Prix, where he was eliminated on the first lap. 3-car collision with Ocon and Hulkenberg. So yeah, double points finish, but then quite a tough couple of races. We'll get into them, but obviously Abu Dhabi, yeah, we'll cover them in a bit, but yeah, Abu Dhabi was a much more cleaner weekend by Colapinto, but it was rather an anomalous one, finishing last in qualifying and suffering an engine failure on race day. Not how he wanted to end the season. Now we jump into his two worst races for me in the Williams. Las Vegas is next. When it came to Las Vegas, and with Williams desperately low on parts, teammate Albon crashing in Brazil, matters went bad to worse when Colapinto suffered a huge qualifying shunt that was a 50G impact and left his Williams into a cereal box. Colapinto was ultimately cleared to compete in the race after medical checks, with mechanics working on the car overnight, but it went down to another bruising weekend for both team and driver. And then Colapinto's worst weekend in Formula 1 came at Sao Paulo, Brazil. Aside from a practice shunt, we'll start that again. Aside from a practice shunt in Azerbaijan, which he brilliantly bounced back from and scored points, Colapinto kept things relatively clean, but then Brazil was terrible. Obviously it was in the rain, but Colapinto crashed in qualifying and the Grand Prix around Sao Paulo venue, undoing the hard work of the mechanics between sessions, which were both held on Sunday, and leaving them a huge amount more to do before the next round in Vegas, which obviously he crashed again. So yeah, a bit up and down for Franco Colapinto. He's got massive support from Argentina. Yeah, a lot of people wanted him back on the grid. Some people calling him a pay driver. Yeah, divides opinion, Franco Colapinto. Obviously, we got the dogs out in force. Collie dog. I mean, whoa, why'd you call him Collie dog? His name's Colapinto. Franco Colapinto, actually. He's Collie dog. It's simple and easy to remember. Yeah. Oh, why'd you call the lesbian a lesbian? Because he looks like a lesbian. It's that simple. Colapinto. You know, it is what it is. We've got, I've just set up the Alpine for driver ratings. Here we go. So, frog legs and collie dog. So that'll be underway for Imola. Yeah, interesting to see how he does. How's he going to do in his first race? Yeah, Doohan didn't score any points, so if Colapinto can get in the points, already he's on to a winner. But yeah, all this 5 races, and we'll see how, bollocks. He's got till the rest of the end of the season, it's clear. Yeah, comment down below your thoughts. Adios.